I had been the secret girlfriend of a superstar singer for 7 years. On my birthday, he led everyone in calling out the wrong name. Sophia, happy birthday. Sophia wasn't me, she was his first love from his youth. His brother asked, Sophia's back, and you're still using a disabled person as a substitute? Aren't you tired of it? Marcus squeezed my ear, his voice lazy, my little Deffy is fun. I'll drag it out. We'll talk after the proposal. He didn't know my ears had just been healed. 1. The smile on my face froze as I listened to Marcus continue. Consider this birthday what I owed Sophia, fully made up. The crowd began to cheer, calling him a heartthrob. Finally, someone stared directly at me and asked, aren't you really afraid she'll find out? Marcus lazily tilted his head, afraid of what? Afraid she'll cling to me? A burst of laughter erupted around us. Seriously, a deaf person has been with Marcus for 7 years, she really struck gold. If she didn't resemble Sophia even a little, she wouldn't have stood a chance. Amidst the sneers, Marcus leaned down and placed the birthday hat on my head. His face, so close, still held that edgy, aloof expression. Someone asked, but she's been with you for 7 years, and she's pretty. If she left, would you really let her go? Marcus's hand trembled, and the hat tilted. A moment later, he gave a chilling smile, lock her up. Who said she could run? Silence fell instantly. No one took it as a joke. After all, Marcus's family influence was undeniable, and he was both wild and unpredictable enough to actually do it. But what was the point of it all? Marcus patiently adjusted the hat, his expression soft, yet his words were like cold blades. I waited 7 years for Sophia to come back. I'd cherish her every moment. How could I bear to say a harsh word to her? Keeping a substitute gives me a place to vent my pent-up frustration, doesn't it? Everyone laughed. They laughed at his tenderness, and at my pitiful absurdity. My fingernails dug into my palm, and I trembled with pain. Marcus put his arm around my shoulder and held his phone in front of me. Sweetie, time to make a wish. Everyone's wishing you a happy birthday, laughing face. I covered my ears and blew out the candles. Everyone shouted in unison again, happy birthday, Sophia. Someone interjected, and good luck with your proposal, Marcus. Marcus snorted softly, didn't you eat? Why are you so quiet? The next second, a text message from him popped up on my phone. My sweet silly, what did you wish for? Don't wish for my album to top the charts anymore. Your brother couldn't be more popular. I stubbornly forced my tears back, one by one. 2. I opened the videos I had recorded, and the cruel truth was revealed. 7 years of a relationship, and it had all been a complete joke. Marcus had never celebrated a single birthday for me. Even during his first performance, when I promoted him day and night, working until I fainted, all I got was a single phrase from him. Sophia, you worked so hard. Even in moments of passion in bed, amidst my ragged breaths, the name he murmured obsessively was still Sophia. He was always rough. When I was in pain, I struggled to sign, but it was useless. Afterward, he would always say innocently, Sweetie, your hands are shaking so much, I can't understand. But recently, he had been signing to ask if I was in pain. I had never seen him so gentle. Now I understood. He said, I'm just practicing on my little Deffy. Sophia has a delicate frame, I can't hurt her. A bitter ache filled me with heartache, and tears streamed down my face. How could he be so cruel? When he broke ties with his family and pursued his musical dream with nothing. The one who abandoned him and went abroad was Sophia. The one who stayed by his side, from nothing to countless awards, was me. My phone lit up. It was a message from the doctor. Miss Grace, are you sure you want to give up further treatment abroad? Why? Oh, you got through the pain of the cochlear implant surgery before, it would be such a waste to give up treatment now. I wiped away my tears and replied, I'll go. I didn't want Marcus anymore. The departure date was set for 1 week later. It was also the day Marcus planned to propose at his concert. That night, Marcus didn't come home. I received a text message from Sophia, Grace, don't wait up. Marcus is playing piano to lull me to sleep. I told him my insomnia is cured, but he just wouldn't rest until he saw me fall asleep. Tell me, after 7 years, how can he still remember so clearly? In the accompanying photo, over the pale shoulder of a woman in a strappy dress, a man was playing the piano. He wore a black t-shirt and a vintage silver necklace. His edgy, aloof expression, illuminated by the soft yellow glow of the floor lamp, looked exceedingly gentle. His long, slender fingers danced over the black and white keys, as if caressing a lover's body. Sophia continued to show off, gotta go, he caught me on my phone and now he's mad. After all these years, she still couldn't stand to see me happy. But I didn't want to fight with her for anything. Marcus was tainted, I didn't want him anymore. Oh, by the way, do you want this? You pathetic creature, beg me, and maybe I'll give it to you. Laughing emoji, my eyes widened in shock at the photo she sent. 3. The next day, on a variety show, Sophia lost a game and had to face a penalty. She was wearing an off-the-shoulder white dress, lying on the ground, her eyes red and watery. A portly male celebrity was doing push-ups over her. Nearby, Marcus casually leaned against the railing, fiddling with the carved ring on his middle finger. When the male celebrity collapsed, he finally couldn't stand it anymore. He muttered a low curse and kicked the man away. Marcus, his face dark with fury, took the penalty himself, letting Sophia sit on him, which caused a gasp among the fans. Sophia seemed scared, tightly wrapped her arms around Marcus's neck, where veins were bulging. Someone beside me wondered aloud. That's strange. What's Marcus's status to actually accept this variety show? Even stranger, he's always been aloof, yet he's willing to let someone ride on him. I pulled the corners of my mouth into a bitter smile. Because she was Sophia, Marcus's first love from his youth. The next game involved randomly picking an audience member to guess song titles. The moment he saw me, Marcus paused while adjusting his headset microphone and frowned. But he quickly lowered his head and helped Sophia with her adjustments. The accompaniment started, and Marcus, with his outstanding vocal talent and a stage presence that was both cool and powerful, began to sing. The spotlight illuminated his stunning looks, eliciting screams from the audience. When the host asked, I calmly replied, "Sorry, I can't hear it." The entire venue was in an uproar. This was the song Marcus had recently made famous across the nation, winning countless awards. The fans went wild. Is something wrong with this person's ears? She can't hear such a popular song? Change her. Get off the stage. Get off the stage. Only remained extremely indifferent. He stood with one hand in his pocket, his striking eyes lifted, looking at me coldly. He was angry because I had forgotten that as his secret girlfriend, I must stay hidden. He was even angrier that a substitute was flaunting herself in front of the real thing. Until light sticks were thrown at me, and sharp plastic hit my eye, drawing blood. For a moment, Marcus's brow furrowed tightly, and he took a step forward, but grabbed the corner of his shirt. She said nothing, only bit her lower lip, and that was enough to make him stop. He forgot about me, curled up in pain amidst the light sticks. He softly comforted her, "Don't be afraid. I'm here." After the commotion, Sophia took the stage and won the game. I had to accept the penalty, being pushed into the pool. By the pool, Sophia, her back to the cameras, smiled arrogantly. 7 years and it still didn't work, did it? I'm still the one he truly loves. I heard Marcus has been calling you by my name for 7 years. I looked at her calmly, took out my phone, and typed, "The deed is done. Give me back my things. The song you just sang is one I wrote in high school. I don't mind making a scene." Sophia's face paled, and she gave a cold, grinding laugh. Suddenly, she grabbed my hand, pushed me into the water, and we both fell into the pool. I thrashed frantically as the icy water flooded my nostrils. Soon, Marcus's urgent voice reached me, "Get the hell out of the way. Damn it, why did they make the pool so deep?" Sophia cried, "Marcus, save Grace first." A strong force tore my hand away from Sophia's tight grip. Marcus roared, "Grace, let go. Are you trying to drag Sophia to her death?" The icy water pierced my bones, and my heart slowly went numb. This time, he didn't call out the wrong name. I suddenly remembered Marcus's first performance. I was tired from carrying promotional materials. I sat in a dimly lit corner, catching my breath. On stage, Marcus was the center of attention under the spotlight. Below the stage, fans waved their light sticks, cheering wildly. I couldn't hear the song, nor could I hear the cheers. In a world of lonely silence, only Marcus's figure remained. He was a light that had illuminated my dull youth, and he still shone brightly. Suddenly, a commotion broke out in the crowd. I was pushed down and couldn't get up. Someone threw down his microphone, jumped off the stage, stumbled through the crowd, and knelt down to hold me tightly. Blood streamed from his forehead and fell onto my lips. "Marcus. Because you were afraid of damaging her substitute, weren't you? Why then did you stroke my head again and again, telling me not to be afraid? Why then, when I was 17, 4. At 17, I lived in Sophia's shadow. After my mom became involved with her dad. If the man praised a new song I wrote, Sophia would immediately tear up the sheet music. You deaf freak. If you dare to write again, I'll slap you silly. She hated me, and with her friends, she would crush my hearing aid, mimic my speaking voice, and even spread dirty rumors about me. Yet she remained a well-behaved, good student in the teacher's eyes. So, when I was accused of stealing a bracelet, she cried as she complained to the teacher, her mouth opening and closing rapidly. And I, due to long-term hearing loss, spoke slowly and strangely. Under the teacher's disgusted gaze, I slowly closed my mouth. The injustice swelled, threatening to spill from my chest to my eyes. A boy reciting aloud nearby suddenly snorted. He skillfully signed, "Idiot, no one can understand what you're saying. Why don't you write it down?" He pulled out paper and a pen, placed them in front of me, then looked down and spoke slowly, "Teacher, I believe Grace. Let her write down what she wants to say." Behind the boy, sunlight streamed through the ivy climbing the window, reflecting in the dark pupils beneath his messy bangs. After I was proven innocent, he took my hand and led me away, with eyes practically spitting fire. Marcus personally took off the earring from his left ear and put it on me. His voice, close to my ear, was loud enough for Sophia, who was following us, to hear. He said, "My grandmother is also deaf, so don't be afraid. If she bullies you again, just press the button on the earring, and the other earring will sense it, and I'll appear." The flutter in my heart at that moment, surprisingly, lasted for 10 years. 5. When I woke up, ivy swayed outside the hospital window. It was as vibrantly green as that summer, until the sounds of an argument broke through. His agent yelled, "Are you crazy? Grace got hit like that, and you're still protecting that woman. Have you forgotten how she accompanied you to competitions, promoted you, and begged people for support?" 27-year-old Marcus said coldly, "Did I ask her to?" His agent asked again, "Then can't you just let her go? Stop tormenting her." "Why should I? She threw herself at me first. I won't let go." "Just a reminder, you're about to propose to Sophia, man." "I know. I only love Sophia. Sophia is back, and Grace, Ava, Lily, they're all the same to me. I just need some time. When I get tired of her, I'll naturally let her go." Marcus suddenly ran a hand through his hair and continued impatiently, "Oh, and don't tell her about the proposal. I'm afraid she'll make a scene. She even tried to kill Sophia today. She's crazy. Who the hell does she think she is? Does she really think I, a musician, would marry a deaf person?" He stood up to leave. Behind him, his agent's voice rose, questioning him relentlessly, "Who is she?" "She's a genius at 13 who won the new award, the girlfriend who willingly sacrificed for you for 10 years. Have you forgotten? Your biggest wish used to be for her to hear you sing. Medical advancements are so fast now, what if Grace can hear someday? You'll regret it." Marcus didn't look back, his voice cold. "I'm going to personally polish the engagement ring. Tell her I don't want to see her on any shows ever again." His agent sighed, then turned around, his eyes meeting mine. He was flustered for a moment, then let out a long breath. "Good thing you can't hear, or who knows how much you'd cry." "Tisk, silly girl, you're even smiling." I did smile, at how foolish I had been. In 5 days, I would escape Marcus's control. I no longer wanted his cheap, deceptive, biased sliver of love. 6. Back home, I put up for sale all the Marcus memorabilia I had collected over the years in the exclusive fan forum. Commemorative t-shirts from his early debut, tour memento cards, and his first album with a personalized love note. Every item was an out-of-print collectible, and the fan forum exploded. "Oh my God, take it back immediately. Or I'm calling 911. I suspect you don't want to live anymore. Oh my God. This album has a love note Marcus personally wrote back then. Did something happen at home? I'll take it. Give it to me. Will you sell it for 100,000? I typed and deleted in the chat box, sighed, and finally sent, "Sorry, I'm not in love anymore. I've decided to leave the fandom. All items will be shipped by express delivery service within 3 days." That very day, I sold 5 million. There was so much stuff that my hands ached from packing. Thankfully, the cost of treatment abroad was no longer an urgent concern. 7. That night, Marcus still didn't come back, only sending me a few text messages. "Rest well at home. Don't run around. Ethan will come to pick up clothes later. Give him the suit you had custom made in Paris last March. Sweetie, go to bed early. I'm in the rehearsal studio tonight. His anger seemed to have dissipated. The intimacy in his tone was just like before. I didn't understand. Sophia was back, so who was his feigned affection for now? But not long after, Sophia posted on Twitter, "You said you'd only cherish the moonlight from now on, and never look at other candlelight." The linked post was Marcus's new album, Moonlight. To him, she was the bright, high-hanging moon. And I, to him, only counted as another candlelight. The tweet quickly started trending. Marcus's fans flooded the comment section. Marcus himself said that Moonlight was written for all his fans. Who is this shameless person? Has she no shame? She's only released a few terrible songs, and now she wants to piggyback off our Marcus's fame? Is she desperate for fame? I suggest this person look at the obsessed stalker who got torn apart a few years ago. When we fans encounter crazy people, we literally get so angry we want to kill them, hehe. Yes, that obsessed stalker was me. It was a critical period for Marcus's competition. He was under immense pressure and pushing himself too hard. I came out of his house in the middle of the night and was photographed by the paparazzi waiting outside. His agent at the time created a 3-person group chat and suggested treating me as an obsessed stalker. Marcus video called me. His usually aloof, world-weary eyes were red and swollen, as if he had been crying. He signed to me, asking, "You don't want to, do you?" He gave me the choice. But with his promising career on the line, I had no reason to refuse. I reassured him, "It's fine. I don't care. Even a talented singer needs support from female fans. Anyway, I can't hear anything they say." I couldn't hear, but I could see. I was treated as an obsessed stalker who had broken into Marcus's house, and all my efforts were labeled as obsessive. The internet was flooded with insults, some even doxed my address, throwing rotten eggs and sending threatening letters. The moment Marcus was crowned the winner of the national singing competition, I was terrified by a knife thrown into my house, cowering in my closet, hugging myself tightly. Clearly, Moonlight was, after all, different. Whilst tweet was trending, Marcus had just received the Best Singer award and was being interviewed. A reporter asked, "Marcus, a female artist said your new album Moonlight was written for her. Is that true?" After a moment of stunned silence, Marcus openly admitted, "Yes. If it weren't for Sophia, I might not have been able to keep going all those years." It's truly a classic first love story come to life. Your original hit song, How I Wish Could, was rumored to be written for a loved one with hearing impairment back then. Marcus frowned, then asserted confidently, "It was always Sophia. There was never anyone else. 7 years by his side, and I didn't even count as an outsider." Public opinion quickly shifted. No one dared to offend the person the entertainment industry's crown prince held in his palm. Marcus probably thought I wouldn't see any of this. Because of years of online bullying, I rarely went on Twitter anymore. But one after another, devoted fangirls came to me, crying, "I can't take it. I've been crying all night." All those sweet words he used to tell us fans were just part of a fake persona, right? After all, Marcus's talent was undeniable, so even if some devoted fangirls stopped supporting him, he still had a large number of dedicated music fans. But I didn't expect to see Marcus when I got home. 8. He looked like he had just returned from a banquet. He was wearing the designer suit he'd worn to accept his award, his tie loosened, revealing his collarbone. He signed, demanding, "Where are my things? Why are they gone?" I was still trying to come up with an excuse. He already stepped forward, grabbed my wrist, and roughly pulled me into his arms. He leaned close to my ear, saying words he thought I couldn't hear. "Who gave you permission to throw them away? Huh? Grace, if you throw another tantrum, I really won't want you anymore. You clearly knew Sophia was terrified of water, yet you dragged her into the pool. You're deaf, what do you have to compete with her? Just behave yourself, and I won't abandon you." I used all my strength to push away his alcohol-reeking body and saw his bloodshot eyes. "Marcus, what were you so reluctant to let go of? Because you couldn't bear for her to suffer? You couldn't bear to let go of this willing substitute?" I raised my hand, feeling tired, and signed. They were covered in dust, so I sent them for cleaning. His expression softened slightly, and he lowered his head, fingering the earring on my earlobe. Our foreheads touched, our breaths mingled. For a moment, I was momentarily transported back to before. When he came back with an award, we raised our glasses to celebrate. We ended up drunk, spent a passionate night, and exchanged all our loving words. Suddenly, a phone call came in. From the other end came Sophia's soft, coaxing voice, "Where did you g? Oh, I can't sleep." Marcus woke as if from a dream, pushed me away, and said as he walked, "Don't take any pills, it's not good for you. I'll be there in a bit." I clutched my lower back, which had hit the doorknob, grimaced in pain, and tears welled up. How pointless. 9. Over the next few days, Marcus used concert rehearsals as an excuse and didn't appear again. He was with Sophia constantly. They walked around music festivals holding hands, strolled through parks sharing headphones, and stayed out late, going home together. Facing the paparazzi's cameras, Marcus openly raised their clasped hands, fearlessly. At the same time, I was busy packing and booking my flight. I gave a bitter smile when I saw them trending. Before, even if our hands brushed together on the street, Marcus would frown and put distance between us. It turned out he never went public with our relationship, not because he feared damaging his career, but because he was afraid Sophia, who was far away in another country, would see. That was all. The day before I left, which was also the day before the concert, I went for a follow-up checkup. The doctor repeatedly warned me, "You just changed your medication, so make sure you avoid strenuous exercise. If the wound opens up, nothing can save it." I nodded, my eyes feeling hot and sore. The doctor said that with further treatment abroad, my hearing and speaking abilities could fully recover within a year. I stood up to leave, planning to say goodbye to my mom on my last day. I practiced what I wanted to say repeatedly, correcting my pronunciation word by word. Then I went to Sophia's company to get back the seashell she had stolen. 10. I lost my hearing at 14, on the final stage of the national music competition. My mom gave me the seashell she had found when I was little. She had listened to the wind in the seashell and walked out of our small mountain town. She put the seashell to my ear, holding back tears, and said, "Darling, do you hear it? It's the sound of the ocean. My darling needs to study hard, get into a good university, and then you'll be able to see the sea, okay?" She wanted to weave a dream, to bring her lifeless daughter back to life. But I said, "Mom, I can't hear." She had been deceived. The hearing aid she bought for several thousand yuan was useless. For my sake, my mom became involved with Sophia's dad. Without status, living as a dependent. Sophia hated me, and she hated her even more. She would knock over the pork rib soup my mom painstakingly made, scalding her arms with blisters, then apologize with an indifferent smile, "Sorry, auntie, my hand slipped." Then she would turn to the maid and say, "A whore who sells herself doesn't even bother to look how dirty she is. The pork rib soup smells like fish, it's disgusting." My mom could clearly hear, but for my sake, she pretended to be deaf and dumb. She eagerly tried to please Sophia while humbly serving that man. Until talked about my mom in front of the whole class. I grabbed a dictionary and rushed up to hit her. The injured Sophia had her friends grab me and push me into the winter lake. I didn't die, but I suffered nerve damage in my ears, and my hearing aid became useless. My usually gentle mom, like a mad cow, broke through the crowd, pushed Sophia against the wall, grabbed her hair, and slapped her. Then, as if shot, she collapsed with a thud. My mom died, from a sudden heart attack. That day, Sophia made me lose my mom, and also my last hope of hearing. 11. When I arrived at Sophia's agency building, a group of reporters suddenly surrounded me, carrying cameras. "You copycat. You're already deaf, and you're still copying other people's songs, how shameless." I froze, jostled by the crowd, and the medicine I was carrying spilled everywhere. The crowd suddenly parted, creating a path. Sophia walked in, tears clinging to her eyelashes. "Everyone, please don't blame Grace. Her ears aren't good, that's why she had no choice but to steal my music. Grace, this is the seashell Mom gave you. Don't lose it again." She held out her hand. Ignoring everything else, I used all my strength, trying to break free. "Don't give it to her. She doesn't deserve it." Sophia's assistant threw the seashell at me, smashing into my head. I watched helplessly as the seashell fell, stained with my blood, and shattered into pieces. I remembered my mom, still unable to let go of me before she died, saying, "Darling, you must live. Your ears will definitely be healed someday. Everything wants to tell you is hidden in the seashell. You must wait for that day." My ears were healed. I could hear any moment now, so why? I went ballistic, kicking and punching the people around me. As soon as I broke free, I rushed forward and grabbed Sophia's collar. I screamed hysterically, "Give it back. I can hear." I can hear what my mom said. Give it back to me. My voice sounded strange, and no one could understand me clearly. They only saw me crying like a madwoman. Nearby, Sophia wore a composed smile. She mouthed, "Serves you right." I fiercely raised my fist, but someone grabbed my wrist. Sophia hugged the person beside me, pointed at me, and cried out plaintively, "Marcus, you're finally here." She copied my song and then tried to retaliate and kill me. Marcus pulled her into his arms, his face set with a look of ruthless obsession. "Don't be afraid. I'm here. No one can hurt you." He turned, his face full of malice, and froze when he saw me. He signed, asking, "Why are you here? Who hurt you? Did you copy it?" I stared at him, my eyes red, unable to believe he was questioning me. Marcus avoided my gaze. He growled softly at the reporters behind me, "Get out. If any of you report this, you can forget about having a future." As the crowd dispersed, Sophia, clinging to Marcus, cooed, "Marcus, make her apologize. And that earring, she should give it back to me." I gave a cold laugh, took off the earring, threw it to the ground, stomped on it hard several times, and pointed at the pieces. "Sophia, you love to steal so much, come pick these up from under my feet." Marcus's face darkened, and he studied my expression. From behind him, Sophia peered out and shouted at me, "What are you gloating about? If I hadn't been fighting back then, he never would have approached you just to make me angry." I looked up at Marcus. His thin lips were pressed tightly together, and he softly hummed in acknowledgement. So, even our initial encounter was merely an interlude in someone else's story. The past 10 years were so absurd it made me laugh aloud. I laughed as I picked up the seashell from the ground. The next second, Marcus's expression changed. He pushed Sophia away. He bent down and grabbed my shoulders with great force. "You can hear, can't you?" It hurt so much. My bruised forehead ached, and my grabbed shoulders hurt. Something warm flowed from my ear. "Get away. Don't touch me." Marcus's pupils constricted, and his hand trembled as he touched my earlobe, his voice shaking. "Grace, your ear is bleeding." "Why is it bleeding?" "Don't close your eyes, speak to me." He watched helplessly as the blood flowing from my ear soaked his palm. He scooped me up, a panic I didn't understand in his voice. "Quick. To the hospital." 12. When I woke up, I heard Ethan's voice. "She almost lost her hearing. Marcus is you superstar singer, you almost destroyed her last hope." Marcus slumped onto the sofa, laughing like a madman. "She can hear." "That's right. At my concert tonight, she has to sit in the best seat." As he spoke, he bent over, burying his head in his knees, his voice trembling. "Why didn't she tell me? She wanted to hear my voice so badly. It's such happy news, why didn't she tell me right away?" Ethan scoffed sarcastically. "Have you forgotten that you're proposing to another woman at the concert tonight? How extravagant of you. For one manipulative woman, you're willing to offend all your fans. And you lavished millions to give everyone at the concert a diamond ring, just so they'll willingly bless you too." "Enough, shut up." Marcus, eyes red, cut him off, gasping for breath. His phone lit up, and he picked it up. Ethan raised his voice, continuing, "I'm truly fed up. What part of Grace isn't better than that toxic individual?" I said shut up. Marcus tugged at the silver necklace around his neck, his voice growing colder. "I just promised Sophia I'd pick her up for the concert." He stood up and pulled off the earring from his right ear. "Give this to her. Tell her not to throw it away again." Ethan asked, "Aren't you going to wait a bit longer? Grace will surely want to see you when she wakes up." Marcus didn't answer, leaving in a hurry. When brought Marcus back, I had already gotten up and picked up the seashell from the coffee table. Someone had glued it back together. Ethan tried to console me. "Don't cry. That jerk Marcus isn't worth it." Yes, he wasn't worth it. I didn't care. I raised my hand to cover my wet, hot eyes and put the seashell to my ear. The summer sea breeze whispered in my ear, like gentle calls repeated again and again. My mom was saying, "Darling, hurry and leave, go far away, leave the person who will break your heart." 13. The concert began smoothly. Marcus looked down and saw Sophia in the front row, wearing pure white formal wear. He suddenly remembered the music room in his high school. A girl finished singing her own song and said playfully, "If you can play it on the spot, we'll be together." Her talent amazed him, becoming an obsession he couldn't let go of. Yet for some reason, he looked at the very last seat in the 11th row. That was Grace's usual seat, unassuming. He remembered his first commercial performance. It was at a small bar that was almost bankrupt. a customer started causing a commotion. She, who was normally so quiet, smashed a bottle and glared fiercely at the person, scaring them away. He aired his first concert. She was so small, carrying boxes of promotional materials, utterly exhausted, sitting in the shadows listening to him sing. She couldn't hear, yet she was smiling so happily. After that, he wrote his hit song, How I Wish Could. He suddenly felt a pang of regret that amidst the deafening cheers at that very moment, hers was missing. During intermission, he impatiently called Ethan. Is she awake? Tell her to wait for me to come back tonight. Wait for me. I can sing for her all night, just like she always wanted to hear. The dressing room door was flung open. Marcus, an early celebration Sophia entered, holding a glass of red wine, her face full of smiles. Marcus hung up the phone. For the first time, he saw her through different eyes. Do you know that drinking hurts your voice? Sophia's smile froze. Marcus stared directly at her. I listened to the song Grace copied from you. The style is very much like hers. Sophia's eyes reddened. You suspect me? After a moment of silence, Marcus softened. He pulled her into his arms and began to hum a song to her. What song is this? I've never heard you sing it. Marcus suddenly froze. It was the song she had sung in the music room. In a flash, he realized something. He was suddenly terrified. He video called Ethan, forcing him to turn on his camera. Ethan, I told you, if she leaves, you can pack your bags and leave too. Seeing the empty bed, Marcus collapsed onto the sofa, his lips trembling. Sophia leaned over and wrapped her arm around him. Just let her go. She intentionally wanted to ruin the concert. Marcus pushed her away and rushed out in a daze. No, Grace couldn't leave. She couldn't just leave now, just as he was discovering the truth. She hadn't heard his concert yet. She hadn't heard him say I love you yet. 14. When I left, I threw away my phone service and blocked Marcus on all my contacts. As soon as I landed, I transferred $1 million to Ethan. If it hadn't been for him, I would probably still be trapped in Marcus's cage. The days of treatment abroad flew by. At the same time, Sophia was heavily promoted by Marcus, releasing albums frequently and winning countless awards. For some reason, however, they never married. Meanwhile, Marcus began a global tour, and his fame grew even more. As for me, I desperately rushed through my treatment, and within a year, my hearing and speaking reached normal levels, and I even joined a band. People around me called me crazy, practicing even with a high fever. No one knew how desperately I wanted to reach the top. Fortunately, on this lonely journey, I met people worth embracing. Grace, stop practicing. The performance is in a week. My roommate and drummer walked out of the bathroom. Jax, wilder than Marcus, his eyes resembling Marcus's slightly, yet his personality was gentle. My gaze swept over his exposed abs. Not tonight. A shadow obscured the light. Jax took my hand, pressing it down on his abs, his lips brushing my ear. He whispered like a temptress, sweetheart, stop playing the guitar. Why don't you play with this? Please. I swallowed, about to speak, when a knock sounded at the door. Jax rewrapped his bath towel, muttering a low curse. I couldn't help but chuckle, and he turned back, planting fierce kisses on my cheeks. I'm looking for Grace. My hand, which was placing the guitar on its stand, paused, and I whipped my head around. Marcus stood in the doorway like a statue, wrapped in a black overcoat, staring directly at me. I hadn't seen him in a year. He was much thinner, with dark circles under his eyes. Who the hell are you? What do you want with my wife? Jax blocked his view. Marcus scoffed softly. I'm her boyfriend of 7 years. Who are you to her? I've checked. You two haven't even confirmed your relationship. Jax slammed the door shut, his striking eyes reddening slightly. That night, Jax's service was top tier, all for the sake of securing a proper standing. The jealous man rubbed the slight bump of my navel, revealing his possessive nature, and obsessively asked, Sweetheart, was I the first one here? The next morning, when I left, the ground outside the door was littered with cigarette butts. 15. My meeting with Marcus was set for a lounge bar. He took off his sunglasses, his eyes bloodshot. He looked like he hadn't slept all night, and his voice was hoarse. Did you scream that loud last night just to piss me off? Grace, you succeeded. I was literally going insane with rage outside that door. I calmly observed his expression and said flatly, don't overthink it. It's simply because his technique is better than yours. A pang of pain flickered in Marcus's eyes. Don't be like this. I finally found you. When I came to Australia for this concert, I heard someone mention your performance at a bar, and you don't know how happy I was. After you left, I realized that I never loved Sophia at all. It was you, only you. 10 years since we met, 7 years together, how could you just leave like that and get involved in such a dirty physical relationship? I took a sip of my drink and made my judgment. Marcus was a fool, a complete and utter fool. As I struggled for words, I averted my gaze and noticed a familiar figure to my left. I smiled, a strange smile. I don't believe it. If you loved me, why would you favor Sophia? You know how much I hate her. Sensing the lingering sentiment in my words, Marcus relaxed his whole body and spoke indifferently. I don't love her. If she didn't look like you, why would I keep her around? I can ruin her reputation. If you want, I can even send her to prison. Smash! Sophia, who had been eavesdropping, dropped her glass, shattering it on the floor. She walked over, her eyes streaming with tears. Marcus, you're joking, right? You said you loved me. Marcus suddenly grabbed my hand, interlocking our fingers tightly, and coldly told Sophia, I thought you understood your place. You just a stand-in who bears a faint resemblance to Grace. As he spoke, his expression turned vicious. If you hadn't deceived me, how would I have spent all these years without knowing that the only person I truly love has always been Grace? Sophia snatched a glass and splashed it over Marcus's face. Then how could you have been with me for a year, you lunatic? Once the messy quarrel ended, I left in quite a good mood. Suddenly, a big dog latched onto me, whining softly. Sweetheart, can I chop off his hand? Though I knew Jax came from a prominent family, his serious tone made me a little alarmed about what kind of person I'd gotten myself involved with. No, I'm not done playing yet. Saying that, I extended my hand. Go home and wash it clean for me. It's been touched by something dirty. The little dog huffed, then obediently took my hand. 16. Marcus moved quickly. Within a month, Sophia was frequently embroiled in major scandals. First, accusations of song plagiarism surfaced, followed by revelations of bullying incidents in high school and college. What came next, Marcus himself probably never anticipated. During those 7 years abroad, Sophia hadn't attended a music academy. Instead, she had become a white businessman's mistress. She was later discovered by his wife, beaten until she suffered internal bleeding, and forced to repay all the money before slinking back to the country in shame. Finally, due to excessive tax evasion and inability to repay, she was sent to prison. And, by sheer coincidence, she was placed in the same cell as someone she had bullied years ago. That person, psychologically twisted by Sophia's torment, was serving time for serial murder. Marcus truly left no room for retreat, just as he had done to me back then. 3 months later, I returned to the country. Marcus arrived to greet me, dressed in formal wear, followed by a phalanx of bodyguards. All around us were top media outlets. He loudly announced his pursuit of me. In the car, Marcus cleared his throat, breaking the silence. Did you break up? I always said, a kid who hadn't even grown up yet, he was just playing around, nothing serious. Seeing I didn't respond, he continued on his own. Grace. If only you would, I'm sorry. I spoke heavily. Marcus, I can't let him go. I turned, reaching out absent-mindedly to trace his eyebrows, and gave a desolate smile. Your eyes, they look like his. What a shame you have single eyelids. I lowered my hand, covering my face. He has charming, slightly upturned eyes, and I can't forget them. Marcus was silent for a long time. The next day, just as I was about to end my life by slitting my wrists, he burst in, surprisingly in tears. He pleaded with me, venting his anxiety. Don't do this. If you die for him, what about me? What will I do? Then, Marcus disappeared for a month. When I saw him again, he had had eye surgery. He held my wrist, stroking my scars, like a student waiting for a teacher's grade, his eyes filled with pain. Does it look more like him now? Just treat me like him, as long as you don't die. In his suffering, I savored the twisted satisfaction. So that was it. To use someone as a substitute, to wantonly trample their affection, to watch them fall for you without any bottom line, even afraid to ask for a promise. It was so exhilarating. My lips twitched, and I fought to suppress the insane smile that threatened to spread across my face. Pfft, pathetic old man. No amount of plastic surgery will make him look like me. After left, Jax emerged from the bedroom, the fierceness in his eyes softening like water when they met mine. Sweetheart, we're getting married soon. Haven't you had enough fun yet? I playfully ruffled his hair and said, very apologetically, just a little longer. Tonight, it's my turn. Marcus, you're not hurting enough yet. 17, from then on, I completely treated Marcus as a stand-in. At his birthday party, I accidentally called him the wrong nom. Humiliating him in front of all the guests. He merely pulled his lips into a strained smile. It's okay. You just need time to get over it. Even when I called him in the middle of the night, woken by nightmares, calling out Jax's name, he would, despite being completely drunk, run over a dozen red lights. All just to bring me a strawberry cake, the same kind Jax used to give me. When he got into a car accident, he was covered in blood, yet he still cradled the cake in his arms. So, when Marcus received the groom's formal wear, he was so thrilled that he shot up from the hospital bed, grinning through the pain. It was an extremely extravagant wedding. I walked slowly down the aisle in my designer wedding gown, towards the man whose eyes were filled only with me. Outside the hall, a gaunt, skeletal Marcus, wearing an ill-fitting wedding suit, rushed up. Bodyguards blocked him. Onlookers scoffed at him. What kind of laughingstock showed up? This is young G's wedding. What's a nobody from some small entertainment group doing trying to crash a wedding? Only then did Marcus realize that even this wedding suit didn't belong to him. Once, Grace's mind had been completely filled with him. Now, he didn't even deserve her name. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your views, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.